Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Through my direct experience, observation, conversations, reading, learning, I found that most people who are pretending that they like and they love democracy, they love democracy only when their candidate wins. And after that, they will try to change the rules of the democratic system because their candidate did not win. I saw this clearly. It was like the last drop. It was not like, oh, see, when we had the elections of Trump, when he won with the electorates. He didn't have the popular vote, but he didn't do anything illegal. That's the way the system works. And I saw the other side who lost, claiming that and saying, some of them, a big voice in the media, that the electoral college and electorates should be abolished because it's stupid, because they lost. Now, I didn't hear the same issue when the same guys that lost then won with President now Biden. They didn't say anything about that. Why? Because the system worked. Now the system worked because they won, then it didn't because they lost. So when you hear these democratic free countries calling other countries, you don't love democracy and we are democracies and democracies, just watch them and watch these guys, the promoters of democracy, how they react when they don't win democratically. They will try to change the rules while they go. Now we have a little issue here. We have the issue of the Olympics in Paris in 2024. If you are familiar with the situation, there are a few countries who are trying to ban athletes of other countries from competing. And obviously those big mouths are pushed by the United States of America, like always, the forces of good, the good people. They try to ban the bad people. You can't consider them good people since you want to ban them. And if you ban them by association, then we get in trouble here, okay? We got in a little situation. So they want to ban, a bunch of countries, they wrote a little, send it to the International Olympic Committee, and they request that Belarus and Russia should be excluded from the Olympics. Now, and not be allowed to compete, not even as neutral countries. That means not under their country's flag. That's because they are the bad dudes involved in Ukraine, and these guys are not. They're not involved in Ukraine whatsoever. But those guys are. So they try to punish the athletes because some athletes might be connected with the military and probably they're going to bring the Kalashnikovs with them and bazookas in Paris and without anybody noticing or something like that. Or just because they are Russians. But I say, no, it's because of the government and the government is doing something bad. Well, if we are to talk about it using this kind of logic, then let's put it this way. HIMARS are rockets, missiles, American-made, that kill people, Russians, military, and sometimes I guess they make some accidents, right? So those were supplied by whom? By the United States of America, not by the United States of America, by the leaders, okay, by the leaders. Who voted for the leaders? The Americans. So if you go like that, you reach straight line, people, United States citizens, Americans, are responsible for the death of Russians over there. Are you okay with that? Yeah, because the Russians are bad. Okay, do you think civilians are not accidentally hurt? And if you say no, then the conversation ends, because that means we can't discuss with reality. If you think so, then you think that there was no civilian on the Russian side killed by the other side. No? Okay, so let's move on then. Yes? If yes, then you understand that you can't claim the people being responsible for the government making a decision. They are kind of, because they voted for these guys, but they can't do anything right now. As you can tell, the United States sent tens of billions of dollars worth of military weapons to those guys to kill other people. In the name of good, they determined, but they are not involved. but somehow Belarus is involved because they allow those guys to use their territory. It's just a little bit of a difference because we are the good guys and they are the bad guys, but it's not the same thing. We send little weapons over there to kill those guys because they're bad. Anyway, let's move back to this thing. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and it's from today, Monday the 20th of February, and they say that about 30 countries call on International Olympic Committee to suspend Russians and Belarusians. So I guess these guys equal but separate, or separate by equal. I think they must supporting that. No, we don't have anything with the Russians, but you just stay over there, don't come over here. Now, governments of almost 30 countries, including France, who is the host country of 2024 Summer Olympics, have called on International Olympic Committee to suspend sportsmen from Russia and Belarus for participating in Olympics because of issues with the clarity of their neutrality. All right, well, okay, so the participants are not neutral. What's going on here? Now, the International Olympic Committee has said it would explore a pathway for the Russian-Belarusian athletes, not for Putin and Shoigu, to compete in Paris under neutral flags, a move that triggered outrage in one country. All right? And it's Ukraine. And has now been met with the leaders, the handlers, been met with a concrete response among Ukraine's allies. And very surprisingly, the same allies here that are fighting with International Olympic Committee are the same ones that are actually involved in fighting Russia on the territory of Ukraine with Ukrainian troops. They are neutral. They're not involved. Okay, these allies. About 30 countries have pointed out the connection between sports and soldiers in Russia and Belarus. Okay, it's true that some, like I know in Romania, there are some clubs that are military clubs, or there are security clubs, and there are private clubs, and there are state-owned clubs. It's like that. But it doesn't mean that you're a spy. And believe me, if these athletes will show up in France, they will be 24/7 monitored. I guarantee you that. And they will be checked, cavity searched before they enter France. They will not come with their Kalashnikov in their asses or with bazookas in their nostrils. Okay, that's not going to happen. But anyway, they try to say anything, but don't let those guys to come in so they can't compete with us. And when they win, they will definitely win some medals. They're going to go back and Putin is going to take pictures with them. That's what they're afraid of. It's an ideology here. It's not about the poor athletes trying to prove that they're better or they're not as good as the other ones. For me, I don't care if who's winning. I just want to see the best one. The best one I want to win. So I can, oh my God, look at that. So we humans are capable of this. This is the maximum that we can do. I don't care about, other kind of Olympics and so on. For that particular reason, I want to see who's the best, what is the limit of the human physical and mental ability. That's why I watch those guys. I don't like to watch Olympics where you have referees and judges. Nah. I like the one that, even though you don't know the they let them go and so on. So you have here the democratic country, about 30 countries, claiming that demanding that those two countries be excluded. Okay, let's see. That's about 30 countries out of how many? 193 about? So 30 out of 193 is about what? 17, 18, it's not 20%, that's for sure. So let's say 15, 17%, let's put it 17%. So 17% of an 100%, it's a very, very, very small minority that really, maybe imagine that you're in a community and you have 100 families and you have, 17 families that come with a proposal. Yeah, you take it in consideration, but 17% 17 families, okay? And, the rest, believe me, if the Americans, because this petition or whatever was signed by US, France, Germany, and Great Britain, the same guys, the same agents of the war in Ukraine, of the main one, United States of America, we know that one. Do you think that these guys did not put pressure on other countries on this planet? Like, for instance, China, India, they're not signatories. There's a list over there. At the bottom of this article, there's a list of the countries. I tell you, the same, if you put them together like the European countries, the weasels, they're over there, some of them, not all of them, plus Japan, South Korea, and not Australia, and New Zealand. That's what's outside of Europe. That's it. And Canada. My bad. Christ. It's Canada. So that's it. Nothing from South America, nothing from Africa, from East Asia, not important ones. I mean, if you want to take South Korea and Japan, that's fine. And you take New Zealand, 3 countries from all Asia and Pacific, Oceania, whatever you want to call that. Okay? And that's it. So these are, as I said, about 30-some countries. I'm not saying they should not be listened to, but don't you think that these guys already put pressure on everybody else? I guarantee you they did. But anyway, let's move on and see what else these guys are saying. And they are saying that, it says that as long as these fundamental issues, because these guys, the connection between the sports and soldiers, that's what they say. And that's the point they make. That they want to exclude them because they're afraid these guys, you see, sports and politics are closely intertwined in there. So what are you saying? The guys are gonna just drop their, the military helmets, their Kalashnikovs, take the magazine out, take their boots off and go in Paris? Is that what do you think is gonna happen? And before they go in Paris, what do you think they're gonna bring in Paris? They're gonna strangle athletes in the sleep, or gonna pay a visit to Macron in Élysée Palace, or what? What are they going to do? Because they're going to be under surveillance, I guarantee you. And not only them, everybody else should be. Because you think that over there is not a lot of in and outs. I mean, if you know something about spying, you know that that's like ABC 1, 2, 3. It's not only the Russians. Everybody does it to everybody who has interest. Well, let's move on and see what these weasels are saying here. Our collective, now look at this double speak here. Our collective approach throughout has therefore never been one of discrimination simply on the basis of nationality, but these strong concerns need to be dealt with by the IOC. They were. No, you just want them out. You just want them out. And that is this. However you want to use euphemisms here and the interpretation, that's what it is. It says, the representatives of German, British and American governments are signatories to the letter, but it is France's inclusion that will cause the IOC its biggest headache, with Paris set to host the Olympics for the first time since 1924. Hey, Paris is just a host, all right? Host. But I guess they can exclude countries based on their perceived security threats. And here are the signatories: Austria, Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, weasels, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, and Sweden. That's it. We don't see here Hungary, for instance, just at a look. I don't know, it's but hey, Hungary, we know that's bad dudes as the Russians. They're like the same as, maybe they're gonna ban the Hungarians too because they support Putin or something. They have a different opinion. They will be excluded because they have a different opinion, and it's unacceptable because it's not the accepted opinion. We're gonna get to that one if we allow these guys to win. No, all athletes should be allowed to go over there, regardless, because you're banning a person's life. What do you expect that guy to do? Go and take Putin out, as Lindsey Graham said on 2 occasions? The Russians must take Putin. Putin must be taken out by the Russians or by whomever? Is that what you want these guys to do? What, a 20-year-old youngster? You deprive his dreams, you deprive his ability to compete. Do you think that guy is going to hate Putin more than he's going to hate these guys in the future? So you create enemies from people that maybe don't give a fuck about either. The same thing as here in the United States, when you see certain people promoted, and you know exactly why they were promoted, and you look and say, I don't have anything with this kind of thing, but right now I do, because I know that person was not the best for the job. But he was appointed, he was given the job ahead of me or others, exclude me of others that were more qualified just because, that inclusion, diversity and equity thing. And then, you know what you're going to create? You're going to create enemies out of all these guys who know who's who and what's what. In your classroom, when you go in your classroom, you know how much that guy knows, how much this guy knows, how much that guy knows. And all of a sudden I say, well, we're going to pick to represent the class because he's the best. What do you mean he's the best? We know he's not the best. Hey. Past equity, shut the fuck up. What do you think I'm going to think about this? What do you think these guys are going to think about it? If you're a masochist, yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, let that guy be over there. He's not the smartest here, but hey, let him be over there. And I'm just going to stay here. He's going to get the big bucks. He's going to get the women. He's going to get the Lamborghinis. And I'm just going to go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But I'm proud of myself. Are you crazy? That guy is going to hate that guy. He's going to know exactly why that person was appointed over there. So when you appoint these guys in the military, especially in the military, a general from a position say, the first was we made history. If he or she was not the most qualified, you create a lot of enemies back there, right there. Do you think those guys don't have an ego? They know exactly who's who. Say, that motherfucker was promoted? That one? Not him? Not me? Why? Well, you know why. Do you think they're going to say, okay, now I'm going to be, yeah. And they did a lot of situations like through their stupidity. Anyway, I think that's what's going to happen with the Russian athletes. They think that the Russian athletes will start hating Putin, who has 80% popularity, approval rating about 79. They think that these guys are going to know because if the guy already has a 79, that means people are with him. So obviously when you ban them because of that guy, they will hate you. So you create more enemies that these guys will grow. But I don't think they care. They want to win medals in any treacherous way they can. I've been involved in this kind of situation with the sports, and I know how they banned certain people. They didn't care. They didn't care how good that was, is going to hurt the national team. No, you stay over there, you stay over here, you come over here because you're related with this and you are a buddy with that. So you're going to represent the Romanian national team and that competition. Not the ones that were supposed to, that beat this guy's ass in real fight. I'm not doing martial arts. No, those no, because we don't like those. We like this guy. He's going to go over there. He goes over there at the World Championship and he gets knocked out. In the first round. Great job. Why? And he's gonna write, oh yeah, I won the new World Championships. I fought over there. Yeah, I'm great, man. You are not even supposed to be there in the first place, okay? But he's not gonna say, well, I was not supposed to be over there. There were other people better than I was. They were put to the side. He's not gonna say that. In his family will run that, hey, grandfather Gigi went to the world tournaments. Who's gonna know that he went because of that? I would know, and maybe 5 more people that we're gonna be dying out. All right? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.